Wow, I'm having astral projection problems. My soul won't return to my body. Oh shit, there's three of us. Warframe split? Oh my god, I hope not. That movie sucked.
Now for something completely different.
Hey, what is happening? I'm Team Kills, and what I like to do is make gaming easier. And welcome to one of our newest Warframes, SEVAGOTH'S, the Soul Reaper. More like Forma Reaper. Now I'll start off by saying I like this Warframe. It's pretty fun to use. It excels in a bunch of different, or actually a couple different game modes. Its synergy is nice. Its synergy is almost a must. Now, there are a few different builds I can think of already that can push this thing to the max, but there's two small problems. Now, we're going to talk about those two small problems, and I'm going to show you these two builds. One that's super easy, balanced, simple, it's got everything that everybody needs, and one that's kind of special I've been having a little fun with. First problem. His claws, his soul, and him all have their own mod setups. It's kind of really good when it comes to options and power, but it's kind of really bad because it's going to take 10 formas minimum to completely max this guy out. Maybe more. But what I like to do is make things easier. So my first build, this one is a balanced one. It's easy slap together and has everything that you need for your abilities. Now speaking of his abilities, his first one is called Reap. His second is called Sow. Now you're supposed to reap what you sow. So when you sow enemies, what it basically does is it poisons an area, and it's like poison because it slowly takes damage off. Reap will send your soul out in a straight line, and it makes everyone that you sowed explode. They're actually pretty good, but you got to chain them together. Gloom is when your aura goes out and it slows enemies, and it gives you lifesteal per slash. Now all three of these abilities will charge your well for your fourth ability, which is basically you can switch into SEVAGOTH'S Exalted Shadow. Now once you're in the shadow, you get his first ability, which is awesome. It's just these claws that pull in, it destroys everything. It's great. His second ability though is kind of like a crap version of Sow. It poisons an area, makes them vulnerable to damage but no poison. His third ability is like a crap version of Gloom, kinda. It gives you health, but you shoot in a straight line. You hit one enemy, they float up in the air, but it gives you health, and it costs a lot of energy. It's weird. And your fourth ability is to switch back into normal SEVAGOTH. That's actually my problem, my second issue with this Warframe. We could have had like 7 good abilities, but we got maybe 4, 5, 3, some. It's just we got some that are like crap versions of the other ones. I don't know. Not a huge problem, just my opinion. Just saying. Oh, another thing I noticed is it's kind of like a 1, maybe 2 trick pony. If you build for one of his moves to be like Gloom, to be awesome, it kind of takes away from your other 2 abilities. I don't know. That's 3 things. Maybe I don't like him. Anyways, none of that matters. Now, the second build that I did turns out to be way better than I expected. Now, because he has a couple ways to reap life, I decided he needs no shields, armor, and health. Umbra is my endgame, but we'll get there much later. Now, because of how his abilities work, turns out he's a perfect candidate for a sexy jungle carnal. Wait, it's not sexy jungle carnal. A Saxum Jugulus Carnis build. A sexy jungle carnal build is that's something else. Anyways, these mods, they go on your Warframe, on your melee weapon, or your secondary weapon. Good thing about SEVAGOTH is he technically has 2 weapons. His claws are weapons, and his weapons are weapons. So one of the 2 reasons I wanted to put these mods on the claws instead of the weapons is because when SEVAGOTH is in his Exalted Shadow, his slam attack is monstrous, which takes advantage of the Jugulus mod's special abilities. A tentacle will come up and just help slam guys around, if there's any left. This will also come up with your normal SEVAGOTH mode. It doesn't have to be on your claws. His first and third abilities, plus his combos, lift enemies off the ground. Now thanks to the Saxum mod special abilities, these enemies are going to explode when they die and damage other enemies for a certain percentage of that enemy's health. SEVAGOTH'S Shadow also does a lot of special melee attacks. When you're using R2 or your heavy strike, you're going to be pretty much doing it all the time. This takes advantage of the Carnis mod's special abilities, which is an evasion boost. Makes it a bit more slippery. And the second reason is because I wanted to have more than these effects going, which is already enough. For example, SEVAGOTH'S Claws Puncture is the lowest damage out of the three, so you might want to put that on your weapon. I put them all on his claws because I wanted to do a condition overload on my weapon. Reason being, with a condition overload on the weapon, I add growing power to this build right here, and it gives me an extra 25% damage per slash. Now, that will bring my gloom, because this is a gloom build, that will bring my gloom up to a 68%, and it will give me about 10%, actually not about, it'll give me exactly 10% lifesteal. Now with the condition overload, the way that works with the 120% boost, I'm going to get about 4,200, about 4,200 and change. So you're going to get 420 health per slash. It's going to take 2, maybe 3 slashes, and you're going to have full health. This is why I didn't feel he needed shields, because with Gloom running, he's really, really hard to kill. He's got pretty high armor, and he still has the whole last chance or last stand thing, is when you die, you get an opportunity to zip around and reap a certain amount of lives before this timer runs out, and you're come back full health, ready to go again. Now, if I wasn't so bored, I'd leave it there, because it works really well. But I'm still going to do the Unperforma thing. So you could keep an eye out for that super, super short video. It's just going to be like, here, look, this is what it looks like. But it's going to take a little while because I ran out of Unperformas. So, yeah. I really hope this has helped. If it has, join the team of killers. Become a killer of teams. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. Make sure you keep it easy. And remember, just keep gaming.